The Mindful Path to Self-Compassion, by Christopher K. Germer, is a book about developing self-compassion through mindfulness. Here are some important points from the book. Mindfulness is a key component of self-compassion. By being mindful, we can observe our thoughts and feelings without judgment and respond to them with kindness and understanding. Self-compassion involves treating ourselves with the same kindness, concern, and support that we would offer to a good friend who is suffering. Self-compassion involves three core components: self-kindness, common humanity, and mindfulness. Self-kindness means being understanding and caring toward ourselves, rather than self-critical or judgmental. Common humanity means recognizing that suffering is a normal part of the human experience and that we are not alone in our struggles. Mindfulness involves being present in the moment and observing our thoughts and feelings without judgment. Self-compassion can help us cope with difficult emotions, improve our relationships, and enhance our overall well-being. Self-compassion can be developed through various practices, such as meditation, writing exercises, and compassionate imagery. Self-compassion does not mean ignoring our faults or avoiding responsibility for our actions. Rather, it involves acknowledging our imperfections with kindness and understanding. Self-compassion is a skill that can be learned and cultivated over time, with patience and practice. Self-criticism and self-judgment can be harmful to our mental health, causing us to feel anxious, stressed, and depressed. Practicing self-compassion can help us break free from these negative thought patterns. Self-compassion can help us develop greater resilience in the face of life's challenges and setbacks. By being kind and supportive toward ourselves, we can find the strength to persevere and bounce back from adversity. Self-compassion can also help us be more compassionate toward others. By learning to be kind and understanding toward ourselves, we can develop greater empathy and understanding toward others who are struggling. Cultivating self-compassion requires us to be patient and persistent, as old habits of self-criticism and self-judgment can be deeply ingrained. However, with practice, self-compassion can become a natural and automatic response to difficult situations. The practice of self-compassion can be transformative, helping us to live more fulfilling, joyful, and meaningful lives. By cultivating greater self-compassion, we can learn to embrace ourselves with all our strengths and weaknesses, and find greater peace and contentment in the present moment. Self-compassion can also help us cultivate a more positive self-image, leading to greater self-esteem and self-worth. When we treat ourselves with kindness and compassion, we are more likely to feel good about ourselves and our abilities. The practice of self-compassion can be especially helpful for individuals who struggle with perfectionism or high self-criticism. By learning to be more accepting and forgiving of our flaws and mistakes, we can break free from the cycle of self-judgment and self-punishment. Self-compassion can be applied to a variety of situations, from everyday stressors to more significant life challenges such as chronic illness, grief, or trauma. By cultivating self-compassion, we can find greater peace and acceptance in the face of difficulty. The practice of self-compassion is not a replacement for seeking professional help or support when needed. However, it can be a helpful complement to other forms of therapy or treatment. Finally, the practice of self-compassion requires us to be kind and gentle with ourselves, even when we fall short of our expectations or goals. By approaching ourselves with a spirit of kindness and acceptance, we can cultivate greater resilience, happiness, and well-being. In the book, Germer provides various exercises and practices for cultivating self-compassion, such as self-compassion meditations, writing exercises, and compassion-focused imagery. One important aspect of developing self-compassion is to become aware of our inner critic, the voice inside our head that is critical and judgmental toward ourselves. By recognizing this voice and learning to respond to it with kindness and understanding, we can weaken its hold on us and reduce our self-criticism. The book emphasizes the importance of self-care and self-compassion for individuals in helping professions, such as healthcare providers, therapists, and social workers. By prioritizing their own well-being and cultivating self-compassion, these professionals can better care for their clients and avoid burnout. Germer emphasizes that self-compassion is not a form of self-pity or self-indulgence. Rather, it is a healthy and adaptive way of relating to ourselves that can help us navigate life's challenges with greater ease and resilience. The book also addresses common obstacles to developing self-compassion, such as fears of self-indulgence, cultural beliefs about the importance of self-criticism, and feelings of unworthiness or shame. By exploring these obstacles and learning to respond to them with kindness and understanding, we can overcome them and develop greater self-compassion. Germer discusses the concept of backdraft, which refers to the initial discomfort that may arise when we begin to practice self-compassion. This discomfort may come in the form of resistance, discomfort, or emotional pain, as we confront our negative self-talk and patterns of self-criticism. However, with continued practice, these difficult feelings can give way to greater self-awareness, self-acceptance, and self-compassion. The book emphasizes the importance of self-compassion for individuals who have experienced trauma or abuse. By learning to be kind and supportive toward ourselves, we can begin to heal the wounds of the past and move forward with greater resilience and self-esteem. Germer discusses the relationship between self-compassion and mindfulness, highlighting how the two practices work together to create greater self-awareness and emotional regulation. By practicing mindfulness, we can become more aware of our thoughts and feelings without judgment, and by practicing self-compassion, we can respond to these thoughts and feelings with kindness and understanding. The book addresses the misconception that self-compassion is a form of self-indulgence or self-pity. In reality, self-compassion involves taking responsibility for our actions and working to improve ourselves, while also treating ourselves with kindness and understanding. Finally, Germer emphasizes that self-compassion is a lifelong practice that requires ongoing commitment and effort. By approaching ourselves with kindness and compassion, we can cultivate greater well-being, resilience, and fulfillment in all aspects of our lives. Germer also highlights the importance of self-compassion in relationships. By being kind and compassionate toward ourselves, we can develop healthier and more supportive relationships with others. We are also better equipped to set boundaries, communicate our needs, and respond to conflict with greater empathy and understanding. The book provides guidance on how to integrate self-compassion into daily life, such as through self-compassionate self-talk, body awareness, and self-compassionate action. These practices can help us develop greater self-awareness and emotional regulation in our everyday lives. Germer also discusses the relationship between self-compassion and self-esteem, highlighting how self-compassion can lead to greater self-esteem and a more positive self-image. Unlike self-esteem, which can be fragile and dependent on external validation, self-compassion is a stable and internal source of self-worth and self-acceptance. The book provides guidance on how to cultivate self-compassion in specific situations, such as when facing a difficult emotion, coping with a setback or failure, or dealing with chronic pain or illness. By learning to respond to these situations with kindness and understanding, we can develop greater resilience and well-being. Finally, Germer emphasizes that self-compassion is not a one-size-fits-all approach, and that different individuals may find different practices and techniques helpful for cultivating self-compassion. The key is to approach ourselves with kindness and compassion, and to be open to exploring different strategies for cultivating greater well-being and resilience. The book also discusses how self-compassion can help us break free from the cycle of perfectionism and self-judgment. By learning to accept our imperfections and treat ourselves with kindness and understanding, we can let go of the need to constantly strive for perfection and instead focus on growth, learning, and self-improvement. Germer emphasizes the importance of self-compassion in the face of difficult emotions such as shame, guilt, and anxiety. By responding to these emotions with kindness and understanding, we can reduce their intensity and prevent them from taking over our lives. The book provides guidance on how to integrate self-compassion into different areas of our lives, such as work, relationships, and personal growth. By approaching each area of our lives with kindness and compassion, we can create a more fulfilling and satisfying life. Germer also emphasizes the importance of self-compassion in the face of societal and cultural pressures to constantly achieve and perform. By learning to treat ourselves with kindness and understanding, we can resist these pressures and focus on what truly matters to us. Finally, the book highlights how self-compassion can lead to greater empathy and compassion for others. By cultivating greater self-awareness and emotional regulation, we are better equipped to understand and respond to the experiences of others with kindness and understanding. Germer discusses the role of self-compassion in coping with chronic pain and illness. By responding to our pain and suffering with kindness and understanding, we can reduce the intensity of our suffering and improve our quality of life. The book emphasizes the importance of self-compassion for individuals who struggle with addiction or compulsive behavior. By learning to approach ourselves with kindness and understanding, we can break free from self-destructive patterns and cultivate greater well-being and resilience. Germer highlights the importance of self-compassion in the context of social justice and inequality. By acknowledging the pain and suffering caused by systemic oppression and discrimination, we can respond with greater empathy and understanding, and work toward creating a more just and equitable world. The book provides guidance on how to develop a regular self-compassion practice, including meditation, journaling, and self-reflection. By incorporating these practices into our daily lives, we can cultivate greater self-awareness and emotional regulation, and develop a more positive and supportive relationship with ourselves. Germer discusses the benefits of self-compassion for individuals who are highly self-critical or perfectionistic. By learning to treat ourselves with kindness and understanding, we can break free from the cycle of self-judgment and criticism, and cultivate greater well-being and resilience. The book highlights the importance of self-compassion in the context of parenting and caregiving. By treating ourselves with kindness and understanding, we can better support and care for our children or loved ones, and create a more positive and supportive family environment. Germer discusses the relationship between self-compassion and spirituality, highlighting how self-compassion can help us cultivate a greater sense of connection and meaning in our lives. By approaching ourselves with kindness and understanding, we can tap into a deeper sense of inner wisdom and guidance. Finally, the book emphasizes that self-compassion is not a passive or complacent approach, but rather a proactive and empowered way of relating to ourselves. By approaching ourselves with kindness and understanding, we can take responsibility for our actions and work toward creating a more fulfilling and meaningful life. Germer discusses the importance of self-compassion in the context of trauma and adversity. By responding to our own pain and suffering with kindness and understanding, we can reduce the impact of trauma and build greater resilience in the face of adversity. The book provides guidance on how to develop a self-compassion practice that is sustainable and adaptable to different life circumstances. By cultivating self-compassion as a daily habit, we can build a foundation of well-being and resilience that supports us in all aspects of our lives. Germer emphasizes the importance of self-compassion for individuals who struggle with anxiety or depression. By learning to respond to our thoughts and emotions with kindness and understanding, we can reduce the intensity of our symptoms and cultivate greater emotional balance and stability. The book discusses the role of self-compassion in developing greater self-awareness and insight. By approaching ourselves with kindness and understanding, we can cultivate a deeper understanding of our own motivations, desires, and values, and make more conscious and intentional choices in our lives. Germer highlights the importance of self-compassion in the context of mindfulness practice. By integrating self-compassion into our mindfulness practice, we can develop greater emotional balance and resilience, and deepen our connection to ourselves and the world around us. The book emphasizes the importance of self-compassion for individuals who have experienced trauma or abuse. By responding to our own pain and suffering with kindness and understanding, we can heal from the effects of trauma and build greater resilience in the face of adversity. Germer discusses the benefits of self-compassion in the context of aging and illness. By learning to treat ourselves with kindness and understanding, we can adapt to the challenges of aging and illness with greater resilience and well-being. Finally, the book highlights the importance of self-compassion as a foundation for creating more compassionate and supportive communities. By cultivating self-compassion within ourselves, we can contribute to a more compassionate and supportive world for everyone. Germer emphasizes the role of self-compassion in developing greater emotional intelligence. By responding to our own emotions with kindness and understanding, we can develop greater awareness and understanding of the emotions of others, and build more meaningful and authentic relationships. The book discusses the benefits of self-compassion in the context of work and career. By learning to approach ourselves with kindness and understanding, we can reduce stress and burnout, and cultivate greater resilience and well-being in the workplace. Germer highlights the importance of self-compassion in the context of creativity and self-expression. By treating ourselves with kindness and understanding, we can overcome self-doubt and fear of failure, and tap into our innate creativity and self-expression. The book provides guidance on how to integrate self-compassion into our daily lives, including through mindfulness practice, self-reflection, and self-compassionate action. By making self-compassion a part of our daily routine, we can cultivate greater well-being and resilience in all aspects of our lives. Germer emphasizes the role of self-compassion in developing greater self-confidence and self-esteem. By responding to ourselves with kindness and understanding, we can overcome self-doubt and negative self-talk, and cultivate a more positive and supportive relationship with ourselves. The book highlights the importance of self-compassion in the context of relationships and intimacy. By treating ourselves with kindness and understanding, we can cultivate greater empathy and compassion for others, and build more authentic and meaningful relationships. Germer discusses the benefits of self-compassion for individuals who are facing major life transitions, such as divorce, retirement, or relocation. By approaching ourselves with kindness and understanding, we can adapt to these transitions with greater resilience and well-being. The book emphasizes the importance of self-compassion as a foundation for social and environmental activism. By cultivating self-compassion within ourselves, we can contribute to a more just and sustainable world for everyone. Finally, Germer discusses the relationship between self-compassion and happiness, highlighting how self-compassion can help us cultivate a more meaningful and fulfilling life. By approaching ourselves with kindness and understanding, we can tap into a deeper sense of joy and well-being that is not dependent on external circumstances. The book explores the concept of common humanity and how self-compassion can help us connect with others and recognize our shared human experience. By recognizing that we all suffer and struggle at times, we can cultivate greater empathy and compassion for ourselves and others. Germer discusses the importance of self-compassion in the context of addiction and recovery. By approaching ourselves with kindness and understanding, we can overcome shame and self-blame, and cultivate greater resilience and well-being on the path to recovery. The book provides guidance on how to respond to difficult emotions with self-compassion, including anger, fear, and shame. By approaching these emotions with kindness and understanding, we can reduce their intensity and cultivate greater emotional balance and resilience. Germer emphasizes the role of self-compassion in developing greater self-awareness and authenticity. By responding to ourselves with kindness and understanding, we can overcome the fear of being vulnerable and authentic, and cultivate a deeper sense of self-acceptance and self-worth. The book discusses the benefits of self-compassion in the context of parenting and caregiving. By treating ourselves with kindness and understanding, we can reduce stress and burnout, and cultivate greater emotional connection and resilience in our relationships with children and other loved ones. Germer highlights the importance of self-compassion for individuals who are struggling with body image issues and disordered eating. By responding to ourselves with kindness and understanding, we can overcome negative self-talk and cultivate a more positive and supportive relationship with our bodies. The book provides guidance on how to integrate self-compassion into our daily self-care routines, including through exercise, nutrition, and sleep. By treating ourselves with kindness and understanding in these areas, we can cultivate greater well-being and resilience in all aspects of our lives. Germer emphasizes the role of self-compassion in developing greater resilience and well-being in the face of societal and cultural pressures to conform. By responding to ourselves with kindness and understanding, we can overcome the fear of rejection and cultivate a more authentic and meaningful life. The book highlights the importance of self-compassion in the context of spiritual and religious practice. By treating ourselves with kindness and understanding, we can deepen our connection to our spiritual or religious beliefs, and cultivate a more meaningful and fulfilling life. Finally, Germer discusses the relationship between self-compassion and forgiveness, highlighting how self-compassion can help us overcome resentment and heal from past hurts. By approaching ourselves with kindness and understanding, we can cultivate greater forgiveness and compassion for ourselves and others. The book explores the role of self-compassion in dealing with perfectionism and the pressure to achieve. By responding to ourselves with kindness and understanding, we can overcome the fear of failure and cultivate a more balanced and fulfilling life. Germer discusses the importance of self-compassion in the context of trauma and post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. By treating ourselves with kindness and understanding, we can overcome the shame and self-blame that can accompany trauma, and cultivate greater resilience and well-being on the path to healing. The book provides guidance on how to develop self-compassion in the midst of challenging situations, including conflict and adversity. By responding to ourselves with kindness and understanding in these situations, we can reduce stress and cultivate greater emotional resilience and well-being. Germer emphasizes the role of self-compassion in cultivating greater gratitude and appreciation for the present moment. By responding to ourselves with kindness and understanding, we can overcome negative thinking patterns and cultivate a deeper sense of joy and contentment. The book highlights the importance of self-compassion in the context of aging and end-of-life care. By treating ourselves with kindness and understanding, we can cultivate greater acceptance and resilience in the face of life's inevitable transitions. Germer discusses the relationship between self-compassion and mindfulness, highlighting how these practices can complement and enhance each other. By cultivating mindfulness and self-compassion together, we can deepen our connection to the present moment and respond to ourselves with greater kindness and understanding. The book provides guidance on how to overcome common barriers to self-compassion, including self-criticism, self-doubt, and fear of vulnerability. By approaching these barriers with kindness and understanding, we can cultivate greater self-compassion and resilience in all aspects of our lives. Germer emphasizes the role of self-compassion in cultivating greater emotional regulation and balance. By responding to ourselves with kindness and understanding, we can reduce the intensity of difficult emotions and cultivate greater emotional well-being. The book highlights the importance of self-compassion in the context of identity and diversity, and how self-compassion can help us embrace our unique qualities and overcome the fear of rejection or discrimination. Finally, Germer discusses the role of self-compassion in building greater resilience and well-being in the face of global challenges, such as climate change, social injustice, and political instability. By cultivating self-compassion within ourselves and extending compassion to others, we can contribute to a more just and sustainable world for everyone. The book provides practical exercises and meditations to help readers develop and strengthen their self-compassion skills. These exercises include mindful breathing, self-compassionate letter writing, and body scan meditations, among others. Germer emphasizes the importance of self-compassion as a daily practice, rather than a one-time solution to difficult situations. By making self-compassion a habit, we can develop greater resilience and well-being over time. The book also explores the importance of self-compassion in the context of interpersonal relationships. By treating ourselves with kindness and understanding, we can cultivate healthier and more fulfilling relationships with others. Germer emphasizes the role of self-compassion in reducing feelings of shame and self-judgment, which can contribute to a range of mental health issues, including depression and anxiety. The book highlights the importance of self-compassion in the workplace, and how practicing self-compassion can improve job satisfaction and productivity, as well as reduce stress and burnout. Germer discusses the role of self-compassion in the context of addiction and recovery, and how cultivating self-compassion can help individuals overcome the shame and self-blame that can accompany addiction. The book also explores the relationship between self-compassion and forgiveness, and how practicing self-compassion can help individuals let go of past hurts and cultivate greater inner peace and well-being. Germer emphasizes the importance of self-compassion in cultivating greater self-awareness and self-acceptance, and how these qualities can contribute to a more fulfilling and authentic life. Finally, the book highlights the importance of extending compassion to others, and how practicing self-compassion can help individuals cultivate greater empathy and compassion for those around them. Overall, The Mindful Path to Self-Compassion is a comprehensive and practical guide to cultivating self-compassion in all aspects of life, and can be a valuable resource for anyone looking to improve their emotional well-being and resilience. One of the key themes of the book is the importance of treating ourselves with the same kindness and understanding that we would offer to a good friend. By practicing self-compassion, we can overcome self-criticism and self-doubt, and cultivate a greater sense of self-worth and inner peace. Germer emphasizes the role of self-compassion in breaking free from negative thinking patterns and self-limiting beliefs. By responding to ourselves with kindness and understanding, we can challenge these patterns and cultivate a more positive and empowering mindset. The book also explores the relationship between self-compassion and resilience, and how cultivating self-compassion can help us bounce back from difficult situations and challenges. Germer emphasizes the importance of self-compassion in the context of healthcare and patient care, and how healthcare professionals can benefit from cultivating self-compassion in order to provide better care for their patients. Finally, the book provides guidance on how to integrate self-compassion into daily life, including in moments of difficulty or stress. By making self-compassion a habit, we can develop greater emotional resilience and well-being over time.